Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Lots of chatter around the Cobra Mark V and its multi-role abilities. And we've seen how fast it can get to Hutton Orbital. However, how fast can we get this small multi-role ship to jump? Well, let's find out. Okay, so then, Cobra Mark V, the Jumping Cobra. How far can we get this thing to jump? Well, I've already got it tricked up to 58.58. Now, I take the middle number as the jump range. It's always very good to look at the maximum jump range, but that's with no fuel in it, right? And if you got no fuel, you can't do no jumping, as Scotty used to say. Anyway, so 58.58, perfectly acceptable for a small ship. What have we got to get it to that particular point at the moment? Well, I have got heat sinks in here, right? And do you know what? I'm going to get rid of some of these heat sinks. All of a sudden, these heat sinks are going to start to affect our current jump range. I dare say we are going to get it knocking on the door to 60. But you want this to be a practical jumper. Anyway, we're going to knock that on the head right there. 59.77. No weapons, no utility mounts. Okay, straight in here we got lightweight alloy. We got a Guardian hybrid power plant. Now we can do a bit better than that. We can go down here and we can go for, I don't know, something like say a 2A perhaps. That might give us the power that we need. I mean, look, we can really sort of like trim this down. We'll go for a 2A. This 2A is overcharged and stripped down. Let's plonk that in. Equip. Right? All of a sudden, we're up to 60.91. Ooh, okay. 4A thrusters. Well, yeah, you know, I get it. I got dirty drive and drag drives on this. Perhaps we could replace that module for something a bit more, I don't know, lighter. Say a 4D. You know, it's not going to let us put anything else in other than a 4. And between a 4A and a 4D, we're gaining 2 light years. So we're going to put in a 4D, and we can probably do a little bit of tickling about with that as well. Frame shift drive, we're going to need a 4A SCO. We've got increased FSD range and mass manager on that. The life support, we can engineer that up, certainly. The power distro, well, do you know what? I've been burnt by this before. I think we could probably, and I'm saying probably, go to like a 3D or perhaps even a 2D. And look what we're gaining. You know, we're gaining another 2 light years. Some people could probably say, yeah, well, you can put in a more engineered grade 2. But we're not gaining really that much, are we? So we're going to go for a 3D. I think, right there. Always one below. We want to be able to boost in case we get out of trouble. Sensors. Okay, sensors have got lightweight scanner on that. And we've got a fuel tank capacity at 16. Now, there is a little trick you can do with the fuel tanks. If you can actually get more by dropping it down. But then again, you know, that's the jump minimum range of 68. Now, that's quite good and quite compelling. The problem you got here is that if you drop the fuel tank too low, you're not really going to be able to jump anywhere, are you? This is going to be an explorer ship. So I'm always very reticent to drop this down. But you can see, if I put a 2C in there, straight away, 68.39 light years. But like, why would you want to? What about a 3C? 67, you know? And then I'm on 64 as it is. So, between that and that 4 light years range, I suppose if it does really matter. So what have I got in here? Well, I have got the Guardian frameshift drive boost. That's going to help me jump no end. I'm also going to need a fuel scoop. So I'm going to pop in a fuel scoop. Where are we? 4A fuel scoop, and you'll notice no weight to the fuel scoop, so you're getting at 4 cheaps, for free. And also, because we're jumping around like a jumpy thing, we're going to need an AFMU. So the auto field maintenance unit, you're going to need something a bit tasty. Again, no impact to weight with that. So we're going to buy and we're going to equip this. Now you'll see it's pushed by power over. We're going to have that completely turned off. So docking computers, well, you know, I mean, you might as well keep that. There's absolutely no reason to turn around and replace that module. Because, well, there's no reason to replace it, to be perfectly honest with you. And we got to look at the point and say, well, yeah, do you need shield generators? I mean, let's face it. If you put in the bare minimum shield generator, and then, you know, it's going to be a compelling argument for practicality. Now, here's the thing. We put in a 3D shield generator, and yeah, we can put in different generators, and we can tune it up with low power shields and what have you, right? We really can. But you can see it, the impact we've got after all that saving on the jump range. You know, it's seldom worth it, I would say. Seldom worth it. We're here to see how far it can jump. If you want to put a shield generator in, you're going to have to do something with the power plant. If you do something with the power plant, then you've got an additional problem, haven't you? So we're going to leave shields out for the time being. We've got a little bit of engineering to do. I think that's the bare minimum. All this stuff down here, you know, well, surface scanner, yeah, whatever. Core internals, we've got them pretty much tuned up. We can do some engineering around that. We could go stripped down on those, but I'm quite happy where they are. Really. I mean, that is, you know, overcharged, stripped down there. And, you know, we're barely knocking on the door of what's acceptable for power. So, talking of power then, we're going to come out of here. We're going to pop into our modules. Where's the AFMU? There we go. It's turned off. All the power we're going to need, 85%. So it's shocking how much that AFMU will actually take. But when you consider you're only going to use it when things really hit the fan, you know, it's one of those things. The docking computer, again, power. Right? Power. And there's no weight assigned to this, as far as I'm aware. But you can see how much it takes. 5% usage. Anyway. Where are we? We are now going to do engineering. So we've got the life support. Could be lightweight. Let's get that sorted. Not that we're going to get much, but we're going to get a little bit. Cool. Where are we? Back into outfitting. 64.98. And this is quite a trimmed down build, you know. Yes, it could be a little bit lightweight around the thrusters. I'm kind of happy there, kind of where they are. I mean, you know, it's not going to let us go for anything else too funky. So I'm happy there. 64.98. Give or take the shouting. For people who are wondered about that, there's absolutely no weight attached to it. Okay, so we're pretty good. We've got it 64.98 or 69.08 as well. So let's get to Jackson's Lighthouse, see what we can ramp this up to. The great things of this particular build and how I've done it, and yes, I probably could have dropped the power distributor down a little bit more to get one or two extra light years, but it does allow me to maintain a good boost. Okay, here we go. Let's get scooping. In the flutes of Jackson's Lighthouse. Okay, here we go. Fuel scoop deployed.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
Woo! It's supercharged, alright. Let's see what that's done to our jump range. 276.32 light years unladen. But let's face it, the current jump range is 260.59. That's not too shabby. From here, we will be able to, with ease, jump all the way back to Shinrata. No problem at all, providing you use all the boosts as well. Impressive ship. Impressive ship. So tell me, is this ship going to be your new Explorer? Or will you keep it for just banging around the bubble? Something a little bit more nimbler to do all your power play with? What are you going to use the Cobra Mark V for? Will you buy it with ARX to get early access? Or will you wait for in-game credits? Thanks very much for watching. I've been Ricardo. I'll see you soon.